Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's updates to what's going on, news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what happens on real rideshare rides, start now by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Also make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. So over the last few weeks, with everything going on around the world, I've been kind of focusing a lot of information, things along that when it comes to updates to what's going on, how Uber and Lyft are faring, what they're doing, what their steps are, what things are happening when it comes to drivers, especially when it comes to unemployment, things like that. So today's going to be no different when it comes to it, but today we're going to be talking about maybe there's a glimmer of hope out there as things are being loosened and restrictions and the stay-at-home orders have kind of been pulled back a little bit. It's starting to see that Uber is actually making a little bit more compared to previous weeks. And I've actually been looking forward to seeing how it's been looking over the last several weeks. So I did make a video about how Uber has lost about 94% of business according to one study. Link will be right here if you want to click that and watch that video. But if not, then we're going to get right into what their updates now have been. So this article is coming from Yahoo Finance, and if you want to check out this article, link will be in the description below, and it's titled Uber Rideshare Revenue Ticking Upward After Dramatic Fall. So here's the thing, it's saying that if you're desperate for any glimmers of hope despite much of the economy tanking, then consider Uber's rideshare revenue in the US increased an estimated 52% last week compared with a week earlier. So they're breaking down week by week, and they have seen the last 2 weeks of growth where there's more people going out, getting rides, and maybe that's just a glimmer of hope there. So this, again, is information Skift obtained from Tel Aviv-based consumer data Superfly, which, again, like I said, I made a previous video where it's showing its dramatic tank, where it was about 94% of the users that were using this. So what it's showing is week by week right here, it's actually showing what its growth curve or subtraction curve has been. So you see at its peak right here, then it's dropped a substantial amount. And remember, this is week by week, so this is based off the previous week. So then you see it start climbing after it's already gone down. Now, what they're saying is it wouldn't be prudent to overplay the significance of a 2-week trend, which again, that's not too much, but what they would really need is many weeks of at least 50% growth for rideshare revenue to recover to what the peak was in February. Now, Uber hasn't really been trying to go out and make any money when it comes to it because they've been playing commercials that says stay at home, only use the service when necessary. And it's the same thing when it comes to what's going on the app itself too. It's pretty much saying the same thing, only use it for essential rides. So they're not really actively trying to get revenue from rideshare, which is actually, I gotta say, a good thing with the closeness that you're going to be. But if you are out there driving and you are taking rides, then just make sure you follow those steps to stay safe, which the CDC just updated its guidelines, which I made a video just the other day about that. So if you want to check that out, link will be right here. And then going back to this, this is showing a graphical dip when it comes to the revenue change in big cities in the US between January 27th and April 19th of this year. So you can see that it's substantially dropped over the weeks in March, as you see in February, where it was its peak at week 9, and then going 10, 11, 12, you just see a massive decrease, and then it peaks around week 14 of this year. And as you can see, week 15 and 16, it's starting to go up just a little bit. So you can see how much they've truly lost when it comes to ride hailing. And then the global rates also have increased a little bit. They've increased about 2.2% globally, according to Superfly's numbers for the week ending in April 19th. So Uber's U.S. rideshare growth in the U.S. could be a reflection of certain cities and states around the country loosening its lockdown restrictions and people sporadically feeling more comfortable about getting into a car. So you're starting to see several people actually, getting back to the normal somewhat. not too much, but you can start seeing that there's some growth there, and who knows. Now on to Lyft. Lyft has just put out an email that I got late last night, and this is from April 20th, so it's actually a couple of days, but I just got the email where they made this update, and they're saying that they commit $6.5 million to relief efforts. So they're saying that they're dedicating nearly $1.5 million to cleaning supplies and protective equipment, where they've already given out 35,000 sanitizing products and continue to distribute hundreds of thousands of hand sanitizer bottles and cleaning supplies to drivers across our regions at no cost to them. So they have been doing that. You can pick them up at your local hub. You have to go on to Lyft's website and see if your hub is or has anything there. So I know certain areas are. I've been looking up New York to see if they have anything in my area, which they haven't yet, at least when I last looked. I'm going to look after I do this video just to see if they've made any updates or not to this area, because our county is actually getting a little bit worse in the trends instead of better compared to other areas in New York and New York City. So it's pretty interesting how they're doing that. But yeah, if you're looking for any type of that, when it comes to cleaning supplies and things like that, check your local hub and check on Lyft's website to see if your local hub has that. They do have links where you can check that out. And they're also, this part, I was reading through this earlier. This part I find funny. We've also ordered face coverings for the individuals who handle our bikes and scooters to help protect themselves and others while they are sanitizing and maintaining. Now, I get that you want to put the mask on so you're not coughing or sneezing or passing anything on to that. I just think it's funny. They should be getting more sanitizing products like hand sanitizer and stuff first if they're handling it, because that's where they're touching it. So they should probably step that up a little bit. And then on top of that, they're also committing $1.5 million in ride credits through Lyft Up. And this is for essential rides, where they're going to be covering rides to and from hospitals for essential staff and essential workers in grocery stores and things like that. They're providing funds to drivers, and this is horrible right here. They extended our commitment to provide funds to qualifying drivers, including those who've been diagnosed or immunocompromised and directed to isolate by their doctors because of the disease. And you go here and you click it, and it really doesn't give you any information on the guidelines. Again, they still haven't clarified anything when it comes to the guidelines that they're looking for actually paying sick pay. This is something that I find actually really bad. Now, Uber, on the other hand, has really spit all of their information out. Even though some of the information that they spit out, they still won't pay out. I believe that they've changed that. I haven't really heard anything where policies aren't being paid, but their policies also really took a major problem and a major hit when it comes to drivers who are actually driving a lot more. And that is because they put caps on what people are making. And some places it's only $150 or so when it comes to a 2-week pay, and yet people could be out there trying to make $1,000, $1,500 a week. So you can see that's a huge issue when it comes down to it. Now, let me know your thoughts. If you're still driving, I know I've asked this recently. If you're driving, are you seeing a little bit more rides coming in? Are you seeing a few more drivers in your market out there? Comment below, let me know. Also, let me know what you think about this whole Lyft commitment of $6.5 million. Do you think that's enough? Do you think they need to ramp things up? Do you think they need to do things a little more clear? Comment below, let me know. And that's the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified anytime a update comes out or any of the normal content that I do produce. Also, make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.